Hi, in today's video we look at how to use value field settings in pivot tables to produce a comprehensive report from our data set, such as this sales report, which looks at our sales of products in various interesting ways. This is a follow-on from my video how to create a basic pivot table, which I will link to in the description, so you can go and watch it if you haven't already. My name is Albert, and on this channel I share Microsoft Excel insights that help to increase efficiency in using this popular spreadsheet software. Now let's turn to the computer and see value field settings in pivot tables in action. For this demonstration, I'm going to use a pivot table that I created previously, which is a summary of sales by customer and by product. To access value field settings, we need to ensure that we have selected at least one cell within our value fields area. We can access value field settings in a number of ways, one of which is via the menu, via the pivot table analyze, and active field and field settings. When you do that, you get the value field settings dialog box. We could also access value field settings by right-clicking over the value fields area and selecting value field settings. We get exactly the same dialog box. And the quickest way to access the value field settings is by actually choosing items from the pop-up menu itself. So when you right-click, you can see either summarize values by, show values as, or number format, which are the three aspects of value field settings. So to start us off, I need to display these numbers with a comma in them so that they're more easily readable. To do that, I will right-click and select number format. And I'll ensure that I have selected number from the category listing, and I will check the use 1000 separator, and that will insert a comma in my numbers as shown in this sample. Click OK, and now my numbers are neatly written with a comma in them. Now this is our base pivot table, and I want to use this base pivot table to build up the rest of the report. I have another pivot table further down, which is currently a summary of our product sales by year. I will also use that later on. But for now, let us take a copy of this table and paste it in these gaps before we do the value field settings. So to copy this table, I'll ensure that I've got at least one cell selected within the pivot table, and I will press Ctrl A to select the entire table. And all I need to do now is to copy it using Ctrl C and paste it over there using Ctrl V. I need another copy over there, Ctrl V, another copy there, Ctrl V, and there, Ctrl V. I also need to take a copy of this second pivot table. Once again, select a cell within it and press Ctrl A to select the entire pivot table, and then Control C to copy it, and Control V to paste it. That is the basic skeleton now of our comprehensive sales report. Now, on the second table, we need to display the values not as pure numbers, but we want them as a percentage of the grand total. Now, to convert the numbers, I'll just need to right-click over them and show values as percent of grand total. Now my grand total is showing as 100%. Every other number is a percent of that 100. In the next table, I need to display all these numbers as a percentage of the column total. In other words, I want to see the numbers as a percentage of the total product sales across all of the customers. So I'll right-click over the value fields area, show values as percent of column total. Now all of our columns are showing as 100% with the relevant breakdown above. The next table, we want to display the numbers as a percentage by row total. In other words, a percentage by customer total. To do that, I right-click over the value fields area and show values as percent of row total, giving us 100% for each of the rows, as well as the grand total and the relevant breakdown to the left of each total. In the next section of the report, we want to display the sales as a percentage of Jane's sales. Why Jane? I've chosen Jane because Jane has the highest number of sales. Let me just highlight Jane's figures so that they're easier to see. Now I need to display all of the other numbers as a percentage of Jane. And to do that, I right-click over the values area and show values as a percent of. Now the base field will be the customer. It could also be any other base field that you have in your pivot table. But for my purpose, I want to select the customer. And the base item I want to use is not Peter, but Jane. So I'll change the base item to Jane and click OK. As you can see now, Jane's figures are all showing as 100%, and all of the others are displaying as a percentage of Jane's. So Peter in this case had 10.73% compared to Jane's sales of pears. Next, we're going to look at the difference of sales from previous year. So as you can see from this table, 2019 sales were 9,577, whereas 2018 was 19,303, much higher. So we want to see by how much was 2019 lower than 2018. And to do that, we simply right-click over the pivot table, the value fields area, and show values as difference from from years. Years will be our base field, and the base item will be 2018. Click OK, and now we can see that 2019 was minus 9,726. That is, it was lower than 2018. We can also express these differences as a percentage, and we'll do that in the next table. So we shall right-click over the value fields area one more time and show values as a percent difference. Base field is years and base item is 2018. Click OK, and now our differences are showing us percentages, telling us that overall 2019 was minus 50.39% lower than 2018. And that is our comprehensive sales report complete. It didn't take very much to produce. Just needed to make a few selections from our value field settings, and we were able to come up with a brilliant sales report. Which of these various ways of displaying values in a pivot table would you use in the future? Let me know in the comments below which your choice would be. If you found this valuable, please click the like and subscribe buttons as well as the bell icon so you get notified when I release the next video. I'll see you on the next one.